So it's day one of fasting. I'm actually, a few hours into the fast.
But it was hard. It was really hard to kind of like, it felt just like, oh my gosh, there's this rage. This time was different.
Here's the thing. I'm certainly in a little bit of a cranky mode. I'm just irritable. I just don't want to do anything right now.
He like blacked out and had a bloody nose when he woke up. Get to it. Get to the point.
Hey Owen, how was your fast?
Oh, my 3-day fast. Yeah, it was good. I made it to like 64 hours. And I'm proud of that. I feel like I can take that to the bank, Fasting is hard. Every time I fast, I learn a little bit more about how to fast. And this was an especially great fast because it's my first fast without chemotherapy. You fast 3 days when you're getting chemo, right? You fast the day before chemo, you fast the day of chemo, and then you fast the day after chemo. And I'll tell you get really weak. You get really tired. And from what I understand, people can go like after 3 days, that's when people really, like they feel like they could go for 5 more days. The first 3 days are the hardest. So I've never gone past 3 days, but I've done 3 days multiple times. Now, this time I quit at 68 hours, but it's not really like I quit. Like I'm really happy. I'm really happy with my fast. Like every fast is a win. But like I said, I normally take the days off of work and get chemotherapy, right? So it's like I have nothing to do. But this time was different. This time I did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I have my Restream show on Monday. I have treatment on Monday. I have client calls Tuesday, client calls Wednesday, and filming on Wednesday. I really don't feel like that's the purpose of fasting. Like the purpose of fasting is not to be in this like fight or flight type of mode. You're supposed to be in a rest and digest mode where your body is in the healing phase. Yesterday I sat in the hyperbaric chamber and I got 30 minutes of deep sleep in just 1 hour. That's amazing sleep. That's what you should be doing when you're fasting. So I woke up this morning. I've done really well with like figuring out the time slots, It's better for me to start a fast at like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock p.m. That way, when you break the fast, it's only like getting through morning and the first bit of afternoon. If you start a fast at 7 p.m., then the last day of your fast, you got to wait till 7 p.m. So I try to maximize, get the most momentum from starting your fast, get the most momentum, the easiest way to end it. So I woke up this morning ready to end my fast at around 4 p.m. It's all tracked in my fasting app. But yesterday was exhausting. Doing client calls while I'm like hangry, Like I find that my clients they're not doing anything wrong, but I'm over here just like, get to it. Get to the point. Not doing that, but doing that in my mind. I remember this episode of Malcolm in the Middle where like he didn't say what he was feeling for a day. And so he was just like, thank you. And at the very end of the episode, he like blacked out and had a bloody nose when he woke up. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what happens from holding it inside. But that's how it felt. It felt just like, oh my gosh, there's this rage. It wasn't rage, it was hangriness. I was just hungry, and sort of irritable. And so I thought it would be better if I didn't have client work right now. And then after that, I did a live stream. You can go to my other channel and check it out. I did a live stream called 7 Vid Summit Takeaways. And I did that, at like 48 hours fasting. I was good. I held my own, but it was hard. It was really hard to kind of like be fasting and doing all this stuff. So after that, I slept on the couch all night. I just kind of laid on the couch and we watched movies, which we never do during the week. But it's like I had the energy for nothing else. And I think my family enjoys the break. Whole idea is like, by the time you wake up, there'll only be 12 hours left. Like, crush it. Just go through it. After getting great sleep, I got a great sleep score. But sometimes you get a great sleep score and not wake up feeling refreshed. That's kind of what it was this morning. Like, got a great sleep score, but still like, just really didn't feel like I got rest, And I think it's because my body was stuck in fight or flight. Sometimes when you fast, your body gets stressed, and that's a good thing. Like stressing your body out's kind of a good thing. Every now and then, and you're stressing it one way, then relaxing. It's all this balance, this ebb and flow. I think that fasting kind of kept my heart rate up, kind of kept me in fight or flight, so I didn't get really rested. And then I sat on this chair out here drinking my coffee, and I thought, I'm supposed to serve clients again today and then film videos today. So I sat here in the morning, and rather doing my morning routine, I just sort of debated what I was going to do. Am I going to stop this fast? And if I do, am I a quitter? we've paused chemotherapy for a while. At this point, we haven't even made that announcement video. The thing with chemo is that with chemo, you're on a regular schedule. And so I knew to fast. I believe that the results that I'm getting shrinking my tumors is because of fasting and dietary change and exercise, not because of chemo. I don't believe the chemo is doing anything. And the doctors certainly can't prove that to me. They certainly can't show me that it's the chemo. And that's my biggest concern, is that you keep getting chemo, and they're just like, well, we hope it works. And if you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. But we certainly can't prove how much our chemo is working. Fasting is different. Like, you can fast. You can get a scan before a fast and then get a scan after a fast, and you can see results, whether you got them or not. And so we decided to stop chemo. And when we stopped that, we also lost the schedule. We lost that dedicated, like every 3 weeks you fast, every 3 weeks you fast. So this is my first fast without chemo, without anything to hold me accountable, because you have to fast during chemo. You know, like, fasting during chemo is something every cancer patient should do, not just because it will shrink your tumors faster, but because it decreases the side effects. This is well known. Go to PubMed. This is well known. Your doctors don't know it because they're overwhelmed with patients and they don't have time to go, do all these things. This is the chemo that they told us works, and this is the chemo that we're going to give to you. That's doctors, and that's okay. That's what we need them there for that. But there's so much more. And so you need to be fasting if you have chemotherapy, if nothing else, to reduce the side effects. But also, it shuts down your healthy cells so that the chemotherapy can't get them. It keeps you healthier. So there's a lot of reasons to fast during chemo, but this is our first fast where the discipline, the self-discipline, had to be there without the authority of the medical field. This is where it's like, this is real now. We're officially trying to beat cancer holistically without medical help. That's a journey that you don't take lightly.